Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management? The Saving Regret Survey polled 1,600 Americans between 60 and 79. They wanted to see if the respondents felt they had saved enough, and if not, why not? At the top, we can tell you, 59% said they wish they saved more, 80% are worried about future needs, 1/3 worry about running out of money. What gets in the way? There is a list, and we're going to go through it with Suzy Lopez, a CFP and a wealth manager at Annex Wealth Management. Hey, Suzy.
Hi, Danny.
This is one of those why do we do these things segments, isn't it?
Yep.
Some of these aren't preventable, but most can be dealt with when a plan is in place. We're going to move through the list. We're going to talk about the issue and then maybe some suggestions on actions you can take. The first is having a very low financial literacy. And a lot of times that's not somebody's fault. If they didn't get raised in it, it's not really taught in the schools.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you have a task or you're trying to do something, if you're not an expert, it's harder, right? So, I'm not an electrician. I'm not a doctor. I hire people to help me with that. So number one, work with a fiduciary firm who's going to have your best interest at heart. One of the things I love so much about Annex is we are really focused on educating not only our clients, but everyone through even a segment like this. So helping clients take control and learn as they go, right? So hire an expert to help you and partner with you. You may not know a lot coming in the door, but through your relationship with that advisor, hopefully you learn more and more and more. I love it when clients look at me and they're like, wow, I came in here and I really didn't know a lot. And now I'm starting to understand it. And every time we have a meeting, what we're talking about becomes clear and they feel like they've really taken a hold and are understanding and following along with what we're suggesting.
The next one is unavoidable. Being struck with poor health that prevents you from working, but a proper planning can at least assist a little bit in that.
Yeah, for sure. The problem with a health issue is not only are you not working, you're not saving, and you also probably have increased expenses with medical bills and things like that. Happen to have kind of a personal situation here, where a friend dove off a boat and was not unable to work and was paralyzed from the waist down. Luckily that friend had done some really good planning. Number one, emergency savings. Financial planning 101. But then two, what types of insurances can help you to make sure that if something like that happens, you've got things in place where you can take the time out of work to spend getting healthier. Luckily, this friend of mine was able to take time off work, get better, and is now walking again. So it's amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic. What gets in the way of successful retirement planning, but also what can we do about it? The next would be getting laid off, dealing with unemployment.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, emergency savings is really your backbone here. It also depends on how old you are when that happens, right? If you're younger, you definitely just have to have that savings bucket filled up. As you get older and you get closer to retirement, a lot of clients are able to maybe rely on some of the resources that they've saved for a short period of time, right? Maybe you take a 2-year sabbatical. I had a client do that after COVID. She came to us and said, hey, would my plan work if I just didn't work for 2 years? And, we can test all of that stuff out. Really depends on the timing of that and what your living expenses are. But again, financial planning 101, you've got to have that 3 to 6 months emergency savings built up.
Divorce, that's expensive.
It's expensive. It's also stressful. Having a financial stress and an emotional stress at the same time can be really taxing for people. We work with people all the time who this is something that's going to be most of the time unexpected. Clients will come to us, say, hey, this is the situation. Am I going to be okay? And so we can help people kind of divide that, that financial plan, which was one household is now going to become two. We work with the attorneys. We actually have resources here who will help you kind of navigate through some of that. Restructure your plan on your own and say, okay, where are we starting at now? What can we do? And how does this look? And help you move forward.
We're with Suzy Lopez, CFP, a wealth manager at Annex Wealth Management, things that impact retirement, about making bad investments. And when I was doing it by myself, I thought I was really smart.
Yeah, this one hurts, especially if you really get stung. We talked about it earlier, the financial literacy piece and having a lack of that knowledge can help get you there. And then sometimes too, it's unfortunately due to trusting the wrong person. If you find yourself in that scenario, work with a fiduciary firm. They've got your best interest at heart. We're on the same side of the table as you. And really just saying, okay, here's where we're at today. How should my investment strategy change from what I was doing? Kind of figuring out what those losses might have been and figuring out how to move forward. Were you really aggressive and now we need to be preserving what you still have left? What's your time horizon look like? That sort of thing.
How about relying too much on Social Security?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, depending on what your living expenses are, right? Most people don't survive through retirement just on Social Security. It's also something that's kind of an unknown. You can go online and you can find your statement and say, hey, here's what my benefit is projected to be at 62, 65, 67. But if you have a unique situation, you want to retire early, or your income will change from now until the time you plan on starting Social Security, that benefit that's being projected on your statement might not actually be accurate. So our team can help you take your personal situation into the plan and make sure that we're not overestimating that. A lot of people, these days will come in and say, well, what if Social Security wasn't even there? We can actually take that out of your plan as well.
Let's lump the last couple together. One would be you're not making long-term plans, and the other is you're just procrastinating.
Yeah, start early. Not in your 40s, not in your 30s, in your 20s, right? As long as you're working, you can start saving. There's lots of studies that people who save to a Roth IRA from 18 to 25 have more in their Roth IRA from somebody who started at 30 and stopped saving at 65.
Folks, we can help. And we mean soon. The website, great place to start, annexwealth.com. Click that Get Started button. We will take it from there. Suzy Lopez, CFP and a wealth manager at Annex Wealth Management. Thank you.
Thank you.